boys and girls. Hope you guys are doing well. And today we're going to do a project with some spring flowers. This is actually a geranium. And if you look at the leaves, there's different values of green. There's some darker values of greens. There's some lighter values of greens. And we're going to be discussing value today. So let's get started. It should be fun. Hi boys and girls. Today we are going to paint a beautiful spring flower painting. It is spring and there's lots of beautiful flowers popping up all over, and we're going to talk about value today. Value is an element of art, and an element of art are just it's just things that artists use to help create artwork. And value is the lightness or darkness of a color in art. And for this project today, I would suggest you either use paint or crayons. And for crayons, you're going to choose some different greens for your stems. So as you can see here, I pulled out a lot of different values of green for the stems. And I'm gonna make my flowers in the red family. So here's some different values of red for my flowers. And this lone blue right here is gonna be for my sky. If you are using paints, that's a little bit different because in order to get lighter values of a color, you add white. That's right. Just add a little bit of white and it'll make a lighter value of the color, which is called a tint of the color. And then if you want to get a darker value of, let's say, blue, you want it to get darker, you have to add a tiny bit of black. And only add a little bit at a time because black will overpower the color very quickly. And you'll probably want another plate to mix these on before you put them on your paper. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to decide on your paper if you want it to be horizontal, side to side. We're horizontal at night when we lay down in the bed, and during the day we're vertical. We're like a tall building. So just decide how you want your artwork to be. And after you do that, then we're going to do the sky first. And my sky, I want it to be a beautiful light blue sky. I'm going to get my brush wet. I'm going to get a little bit of this blue, and I'm going to get a little bit of white. I want it to be a bright blue sky next to my warm color flowers. So I'm going to mix that together. And it's okay if you have some different values in the sky too. That's okay. And then I'm going to start painting my paper. And to get your paint to spread a little bit more, you can just add a little bit of water to your brush. This is a very textured paper that I've chosen. I just grabbed one. I wish it wasn't quite as textured, but that's okay. You can see the texture when I'm painting it. You may have to mix more. Totally fine. And it's easier to paint if you hold your brush straight up and down. Now this is an old work table that I work on, so I mean I don't care if I get paint on it, but you will probably want to put something underneath, like some paper towels or some newspaper or something to protect your surface. And always ask your parents' permission before you start painting, so they know what you might or might not need to start painting. So after you get your sky finished, then we are going to work on our stems. And I've got pretty much all that filled right there. There's still some little spots. I can go back and get those if I want, or I can leave them, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna put that in the water. Now down here is gonna be all my stems in green. So you can see I have green here. And I am going to start mixing. I think I'm going to use green by itself first. Why not? And I'm going to go ahead and start painting some different values of greens. Ooh, there's a nice dark value stem. And I might even have some smaller grass stems down here. I can add more of that later if I want. And maybe one of my stems is a little bit crooked, leaning over a little bit. That's okay. However you want to make it. And I'm just using the colors by themselves right now. And later on I'm going to add some different values. Now I'm going to make this green just a little bit darker. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of black, tiny bit. Remember I told you that black will overpower the color pretty quickly, so be careful adding too much. All right, boys and girls, so I have let my painting dry a little bit, and you can see I have some different values of green for the stems, some lighter values and some darker values. And now we're going to do the flowers, and I was inspired by my geraniums in their blue pots outside. So we're not going to add a whole lot excuse me, of detail to these flowers. We're just going to, add a little bit of white to get a lighter value or a tint of the color. And we're gonna make just some you can add some circles. Use it as is. Add some white to it if you want. Maybe just kind of blend it in there. Oh, that looks nice. I'm gonna add some in here. Basically, when I get done, there'll be all sorts of flowers through here. This one's gonna have some orange in it. Grab some different red. Okay, I've got a couple more reds here that I like. So we're going to try those and keep adding. Oh, that's a nice red. And I can layer. This one's going to kind of be tucked back here. I'm just trying to get just a little bit variation in the flower, so that's why I'm just kind of picking up different colors and putting them in there. Some of these flowers are going to the back, some of them are coming out front, depending on how I'm painting it. I do think I need a few distinct stems, because some of these flowers just look like they're floating. The heads are floating, so I am gonna add a little bit more, maybe like right here. I'm going to add just, I don't know, a little bit of white for some clouds. Clouds are always fun to make. That one's going off the page. And you can try your hand at making clouds. You might enjoy doing that. So here's my spring flowers with different values of green in the stems, lighter values, darker values. Lighter values are tints, darker values are shades. And then I have some lighter values of reds, which become pinks when you add white, and those tints are pink. And then I have a few darker values of red in there as well. So I've decided to add yellow centers to all my flowers, and I'm going to use a paintbrush, but not the brush end, but I'm going to use the back end. And I'm going to take that and dip it into my yellow paint and just dot the middle of my flowers. It makes a nice, nice center for those, and have fun. Boys and girls, thank you so much for joining me today for our Value with Spring Flowers painting. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share with me via email or text. I love to see your work and see how creative you can be with your spring flowers, and I hope to see you soon.